how much does it cost for a wedding makeup artist for their professional kit for weddings? I did cover this before. We've talked about pricing a wee while ago, and it must have been sometime last year. And I think I feel like I kind of left it. I started doing it and I kind of left it halfway through. But interestingly, I was going through some notes the other day and I found it and I said, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So I thought I'd break it down, and I'll start with foundations. So I worked out the cost of all the foundations that are in my kit, and it works out at nearly £1,000. I was like, that can't be right. I thought I've done something wrong. There's no way that was £1,000, but actually I've worked out it is. So when you're thinking of pricing, when makeup arts that, and you do think, well, it's quite expensive, but you do have to think of the level of products that are in their kit. If you're seeing all high-end brands, that's not going to be cheap. Don't get me wrong, like, you don't need every single shade, so you don't need to buy 30 foundations of different shades of one type of foundation plus another. You're not talking about 60, 90 odd bottles, but even the ones I've got, so there's not that many bottles, but I've got a few, different shades, and I can customise it, and a lot of makeup artists do. We don't need the whole selection, but you do need to have enough so you can cover every skin tone. So you do need to have a good selection, but you don't have to have every single one. And it was quite surprising. And you've got to factor in, and I think this the hardest thing is you've got to throw it out because it goes off. So I've got foundation now. I'm giving up makeup now anyway, so I've got a couple of weddings left. But after that, like, my foundations, they would have reached that kind of point anyway that we will be ready to expire, but some of them are still quite full. It's so heartbreaking having to throw that out. It's such a difficult thing. So £1,000 for my foundations in my kit, and I've got a range. I've got Charlotte Tilbury, I've got Beautiful Skin, I've got quite a few, maybe about 6 shades of that. I've got RCMA, I've got a few of their palettes. I find they're more universal and they fit a lot more skin tones. Some brands don't, they only do they only go up to certain shades and they're not great, but RCMA are really good for that. It Cosmetics and Lisa Eldridge, and I use the Armani, not as much now, I kind of went off that, but I was using that. And I've got a couple of MAC ones. I don't use a lot of them either, but each of them adds up. And people say, oh, but you get your discount, your pro discount, but you don't get them for all. And some, like RCMA and It Cosmetics, I don't get a pro discount for that. And the Lisa Eldridge one, she does one now, but she didn't at the time when I bought my first couple of foundations. So it's interesting. So you might think, oh, but you're saving money, but we're still spending a lot of money. So nearly £1,000 on foundations alone.